Why do some seniors who eat what they believe are perfectly healthy foods still end up facing unexpected blood clots, strokes, or heart complications? Could the green smoothie you drink every morning or the cheese you enjoy every evening actually be thickening your blood without you realizing it? Today we're examining something critical that most people over 60 never consider. 5 common foods that a cardiac surgeon warns are quietly increasing your risk of dangerous blood clots. These aren't obvious junk foods or things you already know are unhealthy. These are foods many seniors consume daily believing they're making good choices for their health. Understanding something important from the start will help you grasp why these foods matter more now than they did when you were younger. Your body after 60 operates differently than it did in your 40s or 50s. Your kidneys filter toxins more slowly. Your blood vessels have stiffened somewhat. Your metabolism processes foods less efficiently. These changes mean that foods which caused no problems in your younger years can now create subtle issues with your blood chemistry and circulation. The effects are cumulative and gradual, which is exactly why they're so dangerous. You don't notice them until something serious happens. Let's start with number 5, and this one might genuinely surprise you because it's often promoted as incredibly healthy. Spinach smoothies, especially when consumed daily with large amounts of raw spinach, can contribute to blood clotting issues in seniors. Now, spinach itself is nutritious and contains valuable vitamins and minerals. The problem lies in how concentrated raw spinach becomes in smoothies and how your aging kidneys process a compound called oxalates. Raw spinach contains high levels of oxalates, naturally occurring compounds that bind with calcium in your body to form tiny crystals. In younger people with efficient kidney function, these oxalates are filtered out effectively. But after 60, your kidneys work more slowly, and these oxalate crystals can accumulate in your bloodstream where they contribute to blood thickening and inflammation. When you blend large handfuls of raw spinach into a smoothie, you're concentrating these oxalates far beyond what you'd consume if you ate a normal serving of cooked spinach. The solution isn't eliminating spinach entirely. Instead, limit raw spinach smoothies to 2 or 3 times per week maximum. Rotate with other greens like bok choy, kale, or romaine lettuce, which contain lower oxalate levels. When you do eat spinach, cooking it actually reduces the oxalate content significantly, making it safer for regular consumption. And drink plenty of water throughout the day to help your kidneys process whatever oxalates you do consume. Number 4 on our list is something millions of seniors eat for breakfast believing it's heart healthy. Oats and granola clusters, particularly the processed granola varieties, can contribute to blood clotting through a different mechanism than spinach. Plain oats are generally fine, even beneficial. The problem comes with processed granola clusters that have been sweetened, bound together with oils, and stripped of much of their natural fiber during processing. These processed granola products create rapid blood sugar spikes because they're essentially concentrated carbohydrates with minimal fiber to slow digestion. When your blood sugar spikes repeatedly, particularly first thing in the morning, it triggers inflammation throughout your vascular system. This inflammation makes your platelets, the blood cells responsible for clotting, become stickier and more likely to clump together. Over time, this daily inflammatory response increases your baseline clot risk significantly. Choose plain rolled oats or steel-cut oats instead of processed granola. If you enjoy granola, use it sparingly as a topping rather than the main component of your breakfast. Sweeten your oats naturally with berries, which actually contain compounds that help prevent excessive clotting, or add cinnamon, which helps stabilize blood sugar. This simple swap removes the blood sugar spike while maintaining the genuine health benefits of whole oats. Now we reach number 3, and this is one many people suspect might be problematic but don't fully understand why it's particularly risky for seniors. Red meat, especially processed varieties like sausages, bacon, and deli meats, significantly increases clot risk through multiple mechanisms. The saturated fats in red meat cause inflammation in your blood vessel walls, and this inflammation makes those vessels more prone to developing clots. Additionally, the preservatives in processed meats, particularly nitrates and nitrites, directly affect how your platelets function, making them more likely to aggregate into dangerous clumps. Research has shown that seniors who consume red meat daily, particularly processed varieties, have measurably higher levels of C-reactive protein, a marker of inflammation, and show increased platelet aggregation on blood tests. The excess iron in red meat, called heme iron, can also trigger oxidative stress in your vascular system when consumed in large amounts, further promoting clot formation. Reducing your red meat consumption doesn't mean becoming vegetarian unless you choose to. It means being more selective and moderate. Limit red meat to a few times per week rather than daily. When you do eat it, choose fresh cuts over processed varieties. Swap some of your red meat meals for fish, which contains omega-3 fatty acids that actually help prevent clots, or plant-based proteins like beans and tofu. This balanced approach dramatically reduces your clot risk while still allowing you to enjoy red meat occasionally. Number 2 might be sitting in your pantry right now. something you might eat every single morning without a second thought. Sugary breakfast cereals, even those marketed as healthy or whole grain options, create a perfect storm for blood clotting in seniors. These cereals combine refined grains with substantial amounts of added sugar, creating a double assault on your vascular system first thing in the morning, when your body is most sensitive to these effects. When you eat these cereals, your blood glucose shoots up rapidly. Your body responds with a surge of insulin. This repeated glucose and insulin cycling doesn't just affect your diabetes risk, it directly impacts your blood viscosity, essentially making your blood thicker and more prone to clotting. The artificial additives and preservatives in many commercial cereals add another layer of vascular inflammation. Your aging blood vessels are particularly sensitive to these inflammatory triggers, responding more dramatically than they would have decades earlier. Check your cereal labels carefully. Choose options with at least 4 grams of fiber per serving and less than 5 grams of sugar. Better yet, consider switching to slower digesting breakfast options like eggs with vegetables, Greek yogurt with nuts and berries, or chia pudding. These alternatives provide steady energy without the blood sugar roller coaster that increases clot risk. Now we arrive at number 1, the food that cardiac surgeons see as the most common dietary contributor to clot-related problems in their senior patients. Cheese and high-fat dairy products, particularly when consumed daily and especially in the evening, create multiple pathways to increased clot risk. The saturated fats in cheese don't just affect your cholesterol levels, they directly impact how easily your blood flows through your vessels. When you consume foods high in saturated fat, particularly later in the day, those fats linger in your bloodstream for hours. During this time, they make your blood more viscous, thicker, while simultaneously making your artery walls stiffer and less flexible. This combination is particularly dangerous during sleep when you're already lying still for hours and blood flow naturally slows. The sodium content in most cheeses adds another risk factor by causing fluid retention and increasing blood pressure, both of which promote clot formation. Processed cheese products are even more problematic than natural cheeses because they contain additional preservatives and often oxidized fats that trigger more inflammation. Seniors who regularly consume cheese with dinner and then remain sedentary for the evening have measurably higher rates of nighttime and early morning cardiovascular events, including strokes and heart attacks, compared to those who consume cheese rarely or earlier in the day. This doesn't mean you can never enjoy cheese again. It means being thoughtful about how much and how often. Choose milder, lower-fat options like ricotta, cottage cheese, or fresh mozzarella over aged, high-fat varieties. Limit portions to an ounce or less rather than making cheese the centerpiece of your meal. Pair cheese with vegetables or fruits that contain compounds helping prevent excessive clotting. Consider cheese an occasional pleasure rather than a daily staple, particularly avoiding it in the evening hours. Recognizing early warning signs that your blood might be thickening is crucial because many seniors dismiss these symptoms as normal aging. Swelling in your calves or a feeling of heaviness in your limbs, particularly after sitting, can indicate circulation issues. Strange chest pressure or tightness that comes and goes, especially after meals high in the foods we've discussed, deserves attention. Sudden shortness of breath without obvious cause can signal that small clots are affecting your lung circulation. Morning headaches, particularly if they improve once you've been up and moving, might indicate nighttime circulation problems. Ankle swelling and mid-morning fatigue or heavy legs after breakfast can all reflect subtle changes in your blood viscosity and circulation. These symptoms often precede serious clot-related events by weeks or months. They're your body's early warning system telling you that something about your blood chemistry or circulation needs attention. Don't dismiss them. Mention them to your doctor and consider whether the foods you're eating regularly might be contributing. Making these dietary adjustments doesn't require perfection or complete elimination of foods you enjoy. Small, consistent changes create meaningful results. Start by identifying which of these 5 foods you consume most frequently. Perhaps you have a spinach smoothie every morning. Maybe you eat cheese daily. Possibly you're having processed granola or sugary cereal for breakfast regularly. Choose one change to implement first. Swap your daily spinach smoothie for a rotation of different greens. Replace processed granola with plain oats and berries. Reduce red meat from daily to a few times weekly. Switch your sugary cereal for a higher fiber, lower sugar option. Limit cheese to a few times per week rather than daily. Once one change feels comfortable and sustainable, add another. Over several weeks or months, you'll have transformed your diet in ways that significantly reduce your clot risk without feeling deprived or overwhelmed. Remember that your heart and vascular system are remarkably responsive to the care you provide through your daily choices. Even at 70, 80, or beyond, improving your circulation and reducing clot risk through diet is absolutely possible and produces real, measurable benefits. So here's what I want you to do right now. Think about which of these 5 foods you consume most regularly. Leave a comment telling us which one surprised you most or which one you're going to address first. Share your age and location if you're comfortable. It helps us create content that's most relevant to our community. If this information was valuable to you, share this video with friends or family members who could benefit from understanding how these common foods affect clot risk in seniors. Subscribe to our channel for more content that gives you practical, science-based information to protect your health in your senior years. Remember, your circulation and heart health aren't determined by your age alone but by the daily choices you make. Small changes in what you eat can produce profound improvements in how your blood flows and how your heart functions. Thank you for investing this time in understanding how to protect your vascular health, and may these insights help you enjoy many more years of vitality and independence.